I had great parents, a mother and a father. They're married 43 years or so. I played a lot of sports when I was growing up. I was a big athlete. I had a lot of opportunities to travel, play sports and stuff, and I was on my way to probably going to play in some big name league colleges. When I was 14 years old, I got pregnant. I had a son, his name is Jerry, right before I started high school. When I turned 16 years old, I kind of had this huge breakdown.
You were not who I thought you were. I'm not who I thought I was.
I was trying to be everything that everybody wanted me to be, and I didn't know who I was anymore. And started hanging out with a different crowd of people. I didn't want to play sports anymore. I didn't want to do what everybody wanted me to do. And 16 years old is probably when I started really getting into drug addiction and everything. So. Right off the bat, it was methamphetamines. I went to a party and it was kind of like, hey, you want to try something? Hey, there's some stuff in the room. That was my first time using meth, and it made me feel powerful in a sense. It made me think of myself better than I really was, to be honest. That was my junior year of high school. And then my senior summer, right before I went into my senior year of my high school, methamphetamines pretty much took over my life. That was all I was doing.
Can we go back to innocent days? Will we ever know purity again?
I didn't want to go to school anymore. I didn't want to be around my parents anymore, all that shame. I didn't want to be a mom anymore. And the drug didn't ask of me of anything except for to use it pretty much, and that's how I felt. And I would eat shrooms, and we would take acid and get high and everything, but meth was always my go-to drug. And so the middle of my senior year of high school, I had a couple scholarships, full ride scholarships to play softball, and I just let them all go. I got kicked out of high school, and I asked my son's dad at the time, I said, I don't really want to take care of him anymore. It's such a hard thing to think that somebody would want to do, but I asked him if he would take him, and he said yes. So I gave him parental rights, and I left to Nevada with a guy, and my life just went off in a different direction. Through the years doing methamphetamines or doing drugs and all that stuff, you do a lot of things that you would not normally do if you were clean, sober, if you were in your right mind and everything. So, I did a lot of things that were not normal. I would go to parties and I don't really know what to share or say.
Can we go back to the beginning when tears in a song was reason to sing? Is it possible to get that back? Is it possible to get that back?
That was actually probably the lowest part of my life, especially because I was married. And this man who was supposed to be protecting me and loving me pushed me into doing some things that were really bad. So that was probably the lowest part of my life. It only lasted a couple months, but those couple months have scarred me for my life. And that's probably the hardest thing that I go through now, even 20 years later, is knowing that I'm not that person anymore. I was probably 20 years old at that time. I went from just partying and having a good time and everything to now having to do some of the most disgusting things in your life. My mom, she said, why don't you just come home? And I was like, I can't come home. There's no reason for me to come. No, why don't you just come home? No matter what I did in my life, no matter how many bad choices I made or how many times I told her to F off or whatever it was I did, she would always tell me to come home, and she just loved me.
You're not giving up, as you will fight
that I feel like I lost or sacrificed the most, I mean, like a main big thing was my children. Like I sacrificed them for my own pleasures. Another thing that I really felt like I lost was my purity, and when I mean that as my sexual purity. And at the time it didn't matter to me. I always felt like sex was used for something else. It wasn't used for what God said it was used for, you know, for love between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, and for that marriage bed to be, you know, perfect and undefiled and stuff. I felt like I was defiled. At the time, I felt like I lost my parents. Even though they loved me, I felt like they were that maybe ashamed, you know?